Hi, my name is Dennis. I'm a glass artist and the owner of Green Circle Glass Art. Today I'm going to give you a quick tour of my glass studio. We get the studio high marks for location. It's located at my house, which makes it nice and easy. I prefer to stand when I cut glass, so I built it so that it's comfortable for my height, and then in the front of it I built these bins where I can store my larger pieces of glass. From the front of the table, this is where I have my waffle boards and my little cutting tool there so I can cut straight lines fairly easily. I have a quick assortment of hand tools at the ready right there. And usually over here where I have these short little kin pulse, that's where I usually have a kiln shelf sitting there as I'm working and assembling a piece. These are my kilns. The smaller one on the right, that was my first kiln. It doesn't have a digital controller, but that's how I got started in glass. This other kiln here, it's a larger, commonly referred to as a bathtub kiln. This one's an even heat, and it's got a Rampmaster, I think it's a Rampmaster 3 controller on there. Nice and easy to use. Got a lot of work out of it. It's been very dependable. I believe the inside dimensions of this kiln is 25 by 44, if memory serves. I have a few pieces. These are a few coral bowls in progress after one of the multiple firings there, waiting to go on to their next step. This is my grinder, and it's actually called the grinder. It's a nice piece. It's a little more expensive than the typical grinder, but it's got a stronger motor, which makes it easier to grind through some glass if that's what you want to do with it. Nice grinder, I recommend it. And next to that, I've got a Taurus ring saw. This is nice for cutting those really tough inside cuts that are really tough, sometimes impossible to do by hand. I have an old Craftsman drill press here. I picked this up at a flea market for $30, and this is the drill press I use to drill holes in the glass. Underneath the bench that holds the grinder and the Taurus ring saw, I've got various other tools. I have a compressor, a couple nail guns, a router, a lap grinder, some rotary tools, some other works in progress. Off to the left of the kiln, I've got, this is where I store a bunch of my scraps. Now these are kind of fun. You might recognize these bins. They were used at a market. I used to sell regularly at a market, and the lady across from me, she sold candy and snacks. And she was retiring, and one day she asked me, do you want these bins? And I said, well, sure, how much do you want for them? She said, you can just have them. I guess she was frustrated. I tried to give her some money. She wouldn't take it. This was just kind of very lucky, but if you're looking for a good solution to store scrap pieces, this allows me to sort the pieces by color to make it easy to find what I'm looking for when I'm looking for them. On the opposite wall, I've got a shelving unit that runs the bulk of the wall here. That goes into the house. And I've got a bunch of molds here. There's some screen melts in process sitting up here waiting to have the kiln wash removed from the back. Some of these are just little $2 and $3 plates I got at thrift stores, and if you kiln wash them or spray them with boron nitride, I use Zip, and they work just fine. A lot cheaper than the store-bought molds, although sometimes the store-bought mold is the right solution. And then you can see here, this is where I have my Fritz and my powders. It's roughly sorted by rainbow arrangement, and it goes a few layers deep there depending on powders up front and Fritz as they get heavier towards the back. There's some various chemicals back there, some vinegars, some rubbing alcohols, different things that I use on the glass. Down here I have some of the beefier molds. I have a couple of stainless steel molds here. And then moving over to the left here, I have a Glowforge. The only thing glass-wise I really use this for is etching on glass. It won't cut glass, but it will etch glass very nicely. You can see I have a phone stand sitting up there, so I do some wood projects on there. But as far as glass goes, just etching. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see some examples of my work, you can find some videos on this YouTube channel here where I have some examples. You can go to my website, which is greencircleglassart.com. I'll put a link to that in the description below. If you happen to be in the Florida area, you can stop by my retail store in historic downtown Cocoa Village. It's called Green Circle Art, and there's my work there, and I also have about 60 other local artists showing all their works as well. Thanks again. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye now.